Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So you guys know this is the 5th annual How Much XRP Do I Need to Retire video. I've been doing one every year since I started the channel in 2018. So I've done one in 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, and now this is the 2022 edition. And every single year, something changes. This year, I think we're actually in a better spot than we were in 2021 and in 2020. And it's because this year, guys, we have the benefit of down cost averaging. As you guys know, XRP did reach a high after the all-time high. It reached a high in April of 2021 of about $1.96 per XRP. And since then, it has just kind of been cascading downwards. And, if I were to just take a price tool here to bring it from the top of that trend all the way down, right now we're down about 82%. And why is this good? I mean, you're thinking to yourself, well, that's not good. I mean, the price is low. We're not rallying. How can this be a good thing? So that's a very good question. Let me just bring you guys to this. This is from riddles.eth here on Twitter. This is how I believe you're going to make millions of dollars over the next 4 years, and exactly how I plan to do it myself. This is a tweet from late last month, but I thought it was interesting, so I thought I'd go over part of it with you guys today before I get into my exercise. It starts off by saying you may be down or you may be up. Either way, I'm going to make a case to you that this market dip is your biggest blessing in disguise. Okay, that is the biggest takeaway that, in a lot of ways, you should be taken away for your trading career in general. When we see markets collapse to such an extent, this is, as they say, or as my trading teachers taught me in a trading class that I took 10 years ago, this is like a gift from God. Basically, anything you buy, you will make money on because everything is down, everything is depressed, the entire market's down, and as I just showed you, even XRP is down 80%. This is obviously not financial advice, yada, yada, yada. Real money is made during the bear markets by people who have an unbelievably high conviction about a very specific technology. And whether that was oil and gas or the internet, a rideshare app or digital currency, whatever, they believed in what others didn't at the time. If you're sticking around and reading this thread, then you are already ahead of most people. He continues on by saying stockpile cash via fiat mining and opportunistically down cost average into revolutionary blue chip assets. Don't just FOMO into cheap valuations, which periodically pump. Rather be patient and realize that things inevitably have to get worse before they get better. And here's his reasoning for this. Because the world was on the brink of a recession prior to the beer flu pandemic. The beer flu was a cop-out for these governments to cheat the system by injecting an unprecedented amount of liquidity into the economy. In doing so, governments were able to delay the inevitable. And the problem with cheating and cutting corners, though, is that they have a way of catching up to you eventually. And then riddles.eth puts up some charts here. The charts aren't really that important. Let me continue, though. If you think this is max pain, wait until the world experiences mass unemployment after it realizes that consumption has been the same for the past 2+ years, even though production and output has stalled due to massive beer flu-related shutdowns. I.e. supply chains, businesses, and a net deficit. It takes time for central bank policies to make their way into the economy, and there tends to be a lag. Your job is to embrace the volatility and only buy proven cutting-edge assets that you have high conviction in. So guys, this is the takeaway, proven cutting-edge assets. So for example, in the cryptocurrency space, cryptocurrencies that solve a problem that you have a high conviction in. So if you've been doing your research or, if you've been watching my videos or other people's videos or reading up on Twitter, perhaps you're here because of that. Then you probably realize that XRP is one of those assets, but it's not just XRP. There are a lot of other currencies that will likely help you build wealth down the road. I'm going to leave the rest of this here. I mean, essentially more of the same. I don't think you have to wait as long to see the astronomical gains as, former rallies in former markets at different periods of time, because you already have the speedy network effects propelled by globalization and the internet. So that's an interesting point too. You also have access to very early stage investment via NFTs, which are democratized unlike ever before. Leverage the internet and scale your value in a world by tapping into global marketplaces via cryptocurrencies and other platforms. Never in history has it or will it be as easy to earn from across the globe as it is today. The more you learn to harness this, the faster you can mine. And then some rules to live by down here. Find what value you bring to this world. Make sure it aligns with your passions and purpose. Create intellectual and digitally scalable property, which is hopefully timeless and not seasonal. Monetize it. And with that money, opportunistically down cost average into revolutionary assets. So just a little bit of advice here on how to make money as well. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Basically, though, find a cryptocurrency. Find an asset, or any asset for that matter. But, we're talking about cryptos in this particular video, and XRP specifically. And he's also mentioning the concept of down cost averaging, which brings me back to the chart here, okay? XRP right now, guys, down 82%. And, some are suggesting that we could even see a bigger fall. So we're going to talk a little bit about the concept of laddering in as well. You might not want to deploy your capital all quite yet. However, this is a significant opportunity and a great opportunity to buy, a great opportunity to down cost average. For example, let's say you bought cryptocurrency or bought XRP in February of 2021 and you put in $1,000. Well, at that time, depending on when you bought, if it was, in and around here or so, you would have bought your XRP after this pump. Maybe you saw this first pump happen after the lawsuit was announced and XRP was down in the dirt, and you thought, okay, this is my time to get in. And maybe you bought XRP at 58 cents. And so by putting in $1,000, right, at 58 cents, maybe you got about 1,724 XRP. Okay, I'm just going to make round numbers here. 1,724 XRP. So that's a fairly good amount. But then, you saw that the market kept going up and up and up, and you needed to save some money. And then in and around April, you thought, okay, this is going higher and higher. I should buy more. And so you bought in and around here at $1.04. Well, how much XRP would you get at that point? You would have spent another $1,000 and you bought in at $1.04. Now you have another 961 XRP. So 961 XRP roughly. So now you've put in $2,000, guys, and with your $2,000 investment, you now have, let's do this math real quick here, you now have about 2,685 XRP. So you bought a stash, you bought 1,000 at 58 cents, you bought $1,000 worth at $1.04. So at this point, what is your dollar cost average, right? Because you've put in $2,000, and with that $2,000, whoops, what did I say you had? You had 961 plus 1724, 2,685. So with $2,000, you had 2,685 XRP. Now you've averaged out your price at about 74.5 cents, right? Because you bought some at 58 and some at $1.04. Well, 74 cents. Right now, XRP is trading at 34 cents. So you are still underwater. But now there's the opportunity to down cost average. So it is July of 2022, and let's say in July or August, whatever, you've saved up some more money, you have another $1,000, and you want to buy XRP at, let's say, 34 cents, or, maybe you're waiting for a better entry point. Nevertheless, let's say it's 34 cents. You've saved another $1,000, and now you can get an extra 2,941 XRP. 2,941 XRP. So even more XRP with only $1,000 than you bought these first two times with $2,000, right? Because what did I say? How much did you have before? This plus 1724, you had 2,685, spending $2,000, and now in July and August, because you decided to cost average down, you can purchase another 2,941, which now leaves you guys with a total amount of 5,626 XRP. 5,626 XRP total with $3,000 investment. So at this point, February and April, you cost averaged at 74 cents. What is your cost average now? $3,000 divided by 56.26. Well, now that brings your cost average price, guys, down to 53 cents. So before you were up here, you cost averaged at 74 cents. That would have brought you roughly 74, it was about 74.5 cents roughly up here. But because you decided to be patient, decided to buy when the market was low, you decided to cost average down, and now you've put in $3,000 into XRP, and your cost average is in and around here, 53 and a bit. So you have significantly decreased your cost average price down a significant amount, 28.5%, guys. So this is the beauty of cost averaging down. Now, at this point, all you need to do is get up to this point here to get above water, as opposed to this point here. So since you decided to cost average down, you'd be in profit once you hit this mark as opposed to this mark. And guys, the more money you decide to put in here, like let's say you have $5,000 to put in, and let's say you bought XRP at 34 cents with $5,000 divided by 34, that means you would have gotten an extra $14,705. $14,705. You would now have put in $7,000 total. So instead of $3,000, it would be a $7,000 investment. And what would your cost average be at that point? You go that plus 961 plus 1724. You'd have 17,390 XRP. So 7,000 divided by 17,390. Your cost average now, guys, is 40 cents per XRP. So that would actually bring your cost average all the way down to here, 40 cents per XRP, which means that now you would only have to hit this spot in order to be profitable. So the more you can put in at a lower price, the better it is. Obviously, this is going to be different for everybody. Obviously, do not invest more than you can afford to lose because, investing is never 100% guaranteed. Okay, but so, that brings me to this next question. How much XRP do I need to retire? I think first we have to ask ourselves, is inflation going to stay this way forever? Well, over the last 100 years or so, we have never seen the cost of things really go down. Generally speaking, the costs of things usually go up. So, is gasoline going to stay at this price indefinitely? I don't know. I mean, the price of gas tends to fluctuate. If the powers that be usher in a new financial system, who knows what kind of plan they have with CBDCs, what those are going to be worth versus today's US dollar. So I think just to be safe, we have to assume that inflation is going to stay, maybe not at these levels, maybe it will taper off a bit. But, for all intents and purposes, I don't think we're going to see prices come way back down like we did pre-pandemic. So then the question is, do I need $2 million to retire? Do I need $5 million to retire? Or do I need $20 million to retire? When I did this video last year, I made this number $1 million. But, we're in a different situation today. And, this number is also going to depend on how old you are as well. If you are in your 60s or your 70s, you may not actually need as much money to retire versus if you're in your 20s or 30s. And also, it's going to be a matter of what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to just live a simple life, a life where all your expenses are covered and, you don't really want too many frills? Or do you want to live a more lavish lifestyle? Do you want nice things like clothes? Do you want to eat out at restaurants every night? Do you want expensive cars and go on lots of trips? So, these are all questions you have to evaluate for yourself. What I would suggest is, take a look at your expenses and, pad them a little bit because we know in the future things are just going to get more expensive. See how much you spend per month, multiply that by 12, see how much you spend per year. And then depending on how old you are, I don't know, deduct from however long you think you're going to live. I guess that depends on your health and all that, but I think it's pretty safe to say for a padded conservative estimate, if you were to live to 100 years old, which I don't know, I think that's a high number, but maybe not in 30 years, how much money would you need to live? And so everybody's going to be different, so this is why I've given some different scenarios. And in a video I did yesterday, I talked about some potential XRP targets, target prices that I think we can comfortably see within the next few years or so. Some of these targets, well, obviously some of them will hit sooner rather than later, depending, we might need to wait a couple of years, 2-3 years. Some of them we might need to wait a little longer. And also there's going to be the real world utility. So that's still a big question mark too. And if you guys didn't catch that video I did yesterday, I will link it up here in the top right hand corner. But anyway, let's just say for sake of argument, one of the targets was a fairly conservative target. The idea that XRP could go to $7.26. So how much XRP would you need in order to retire with $2 million? So we go $2 million divided by a price of $7.26. That means you would need 482 XRP in order to reach that target of 2 million. Now that sounds like a lot. We're going to get to some strategies in a sec, but first I just kind of want to lay out this groundwork just to give you guys a sense of how much you'd need. You got to also remember too, guys, that there are going to be taxes on this. So factor that in. You have to factor that in depending on where you live, what country you live in. Obviously, it might be different state to state as well. Okay, so how about for $5 million if you're expecting XRP to go to about $7.26? Well, for $5 million, divide that by 726, you would need 688,000 705 XRP. It sounds a little unattainable. I don't know, maybe you're in the top of the rich list, but for most of us, I'm feeling like that might be a little unattainable. Okay, what about 20 million? Let's just finish this out here. 20 million XRP at a measly price of $7.26. You would need over 2.7 million XRP. 2,700,000 and what was it? 54,820 XRP. So guys, I know this is not looking pretty, but I know some of you may be invested in other altcoins, not just XRP. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to talk about a plan for diversifying, but let's just continue right now with some other targets, okay? So, another one was that target, the initial target, $10 to $15. When I took a look at the Fibonacci on one of the charts I brought up yesterday, I was looking at a price of about a $15.83 XRP. So let's do the same exercise here, okay? If you wanted to retire with $2 million and you're looking for a target price of about $15.83, that means you would only need 126,342 XRP. So that's a little more attainable. And again, guys, these targets are likely going to happen relatively soon. I mean, maybe not tomorrow, but probably before you're actually at retirement age, okay? What about for $5 million? So $5 million here divided by an XRP worth about $15.83. That means you'd need about 855 XRP. Okay, what about a $20 million XRP? Let's throw that up here. $20 million divided by a $15.83 XRP. Well, you'd still need about 1.2 million XRP. 1,263,423. Okay, so that gives us kind of an estimate of how much XRP you would need in order to retire strictly on XRP. Now, as the years go on, chances are the price is going to get higher and higher. Like, for example, we were looking at a $66 XRP. So again, this is going to be a time factor too. If you guys are willing to wait it out for 10 years, I mean, if you're 25, 10 years only brings you to 35 years old. And I mean, $66 might happen before that, but for all intents and purposes, you got to kind of gauge where you want to be in your life, how long you want to wait. That's another factor to consider. Okay, so what about a $66 XRP if you wanted to retire with $2 million and you're expecting XRP to go to $66 per coin? Well, you only need, this isn't actually looking too bad, you only need about 30,303 XRP. Okay, what if you wanted to retire with $5 million? Okay, at a price of $66 per XRP, that's only about 75,757 XRP. All right, and if you wanted to retire with $20 million, guys, $20 million divided by a $66 XRP, well, that's 303,030 XRP. And so again, a lot of this is going to be dependent on real world utility. We really don't know where XRP is going to go even after this lawsuit. I mean, some are suggesting that it could, shoot up to $15, $20 just based on the lawsuit verdict alone. And is that going to actually affect the entire market? And is crypto going to rally because of that landmark lawsuit? The other thing we got to remember is, guys, if 99% of coins fall to the wayside and it's only going to be a handful of coins that really solve problems, that really have true value, a lot of the money that were in those garbage coins are going to shift, and that money is going to likely be dumped into the coins that do solve problems, like the XRPs of the world, the Algorands, the Cardanos, probably a lot of those WEF cryptocurrencies. So, okay, we were also talking about a potential target, and this might happen sometime away, of about $278.34 per XRP. And again, guys, if you didn't catch my video yesterday, I suggest you watch it. I talked about some of these potential targets in that video. So if you want to retire with $2 million and you're waiting, I mean, you're going to be waiting for a price of $278 roughly, all you would need at this point is 7,185 XRP. Okay, now that's not a lot at all. What about for $5 million? Okay, $5 million, guys, divided by 278.34 means you would only need 17,963 XRP in order to retire with $5 million. Now you're seeing these numbers are getting lower and lower, of course, as the price target is getting higher and higher. So what about with $20 million? Okay, let's bring up 20 million, divide that by a price target. Maybe we're thinking it's going to go to $278. All you would need is 71,854 XRP. So, the higher the target is, obviously the less XRP you would need. And finally, the big kahuna. You know what? I don't even think I'm going to do this one because, quite frankly, even if prices get to $15, I'm sure 99% of you are likely going to sell a portion of your XRP before it hits $5.89. Okay, and so that is going to bring me to my next point. And it's a concept that I've been toying with for a couple of years now. This is a crypto exit spreadsheet, guys, that I will have down in the resources down in the description of the video. If you guys want to download it, it's a free resource for you. I created this a couple of years ago for myself to give me a sense because I have multiple cryptocurrencies, not just XRP, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So these are sample numbers that I created for a former video. And this is a customizable spreadsheet. You can change what cryptocurrencies you hold here. So, let's say you do have some Bitcoin. Let's say you do have XRP. Let's say another crypto you hold is Algorand. Okay, so you'd have to change this manually, and you would just change that manually there. Okay, just put that in there. And I don't know, maybe you have some Cardano as well. ADA, and so you can change this as much as you want. Basically what happens here is when you put in a value or you put in a cryptocurrency, it changes the value over here, and we're going to get to that in a second. Now, how much Bitcoin you have, how much XRP you have, how much Algorand you have, you're going to fill this out after you have down cost average. So let's say you have, 0.58 Bitcoin, 5823 Bitcoin. Okay, I don't know. I'm just throwing out random numbers here. And let's say you have, 178,065 XRP. I don't know. Again, just throwing out some random numbers here. And you can change this down to the decimals. So I've made it very precise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and let's say how much Algorand you have. Let's say you have 60,000 Algorand. And Cardano, I don't know, let's say you have 15,893 Cardano. And so now we've got to pick targets. Now these are also customizable. And again, this is all going to be dependent on where you're thinking crypto is going, whether it's this next rally or beyond. So, I don't know, let's say we're thinking Bitcoin is going to go, to $100,000, and that's the price where you think you're going to cash out of. Let's say in this next run, we see XRP going to $15.83. That was one of the targets that we used in the exercise from earlier. And let's say Algorand here. Let me just bring up the Algorand chart just so we can kind of get a better idea, just so we're not kind of pulling numbers out of the air here. So this is the Algorand chart here on the daily, guys. And as you guys can see here, we've already corrected about 88% for Algorand. So, assuming this is the bottom, assuming we can take it from the top, we'll throw a Fibonacci down here right to the bottom of where we saw the Algorand trend bottom out. And I don't know, let's say it pulls a full Fibonacci up to the 4.236 in the next cycle, right? That means we could possibly see an Algorand price target up here of about $11.06. So what you would do is you would put $11.06 in there. And let's just do the same for Cardano just real quick. Cardano's ADA, bring it up here on the charts. And I don't know, let's just assume that this is the bottom as well for Cardano. And we're taking this, and I'm taking some liberties here because we don't really know where the bottom is yet. So I'm just taking some liberties just to give you guys a sense of what would be a reasonable-ish prediction for some of these cryptocurrencies. Let's say it doesn't actually make a full Fibonacci. Let's say it goes to the 2.618. Okay, so then we'd see a Cardano at about $7.60. So let's pop that in here, $7.60. And again, guys, this is customizable, and I've made it that way so that you guys can put in these numbers however you see fit. So we've got our Bitcoin, XRP, Algorand, and Cardano. Those are the 4 positions you hold. Now, on the right side of the chart, we've got 20%, 25%, 30%, all the way up, okay? I've done it in increments of 5 percentage points, all the way up to 90%. You can see that here in the bottom right-hand corner, 90%. So what does that mean? These are values if you were to cash out. So for example, if you were to cash out 50% of your cryptocurrency, 50% of your Bitcoin, you would be cashing out 0.29115 Bitcoin. You would have 0.29115 Bitcoin remaining because it's 50%. And this is the dollar value in USD as to what you would be cashing out. If you were to cash out 50% of your XRP, that would be 89,032.561725 XRP, and you'd be cashing out about $1.4 million approximately. With Algorand, it'd be 30,000, cashing out $331,800, and Cardano's ADA, 7,946.5, which would cash you out about 60,400 approximately. And so the total amount cashed out would be $1.83 million, only if you cashed out 50%, guys, at these particular targets. Now, you can change that if you want to cash out more, like let's say you want to cash out 70% and hold 30%. In that case, you'd be cashing out for, Bitcoin, for example, 0.407 Bitcoin, and you'd have 1.74 Bitcoin remaining. And the same remains true for these other cryptos. Let's say you only wanted to cash out 25%. Well, let's go out here. You'd be only cashing out 0.1455 Bitcoin with 0.4367 remaining, and you'd be only cashing out $14,000 approximately. The same is true for XRP with a 25% cash out, cashing out $44,500, and then you'd have 133 remaining. So this number here, guys, is going to give you a good idea of how much money you need to retire based on your calculations, based on your lifestyle, based on your age, based on all those things. And, that means that you would still have this amount remaining. If you cashed out 40%, you would still have this amount remaining of your Bitcoin, your XRP, your Algorand, your ADA. And maybe if that's the case, you'd be waiting for a higher target. Like in this case, if you cashed out 25% of your XRP, well, maybe you'd be willing to cash out the remainder at a higher price target, whether that's $66 or $278. You can always change these values here too to reevaluate. You can make a copy of this chart, have separate charts for different cycles. And not only that, guys, the chart is available on your cell phone. This is the App Store, guys, for iPhone, so it's available for iPhone and Android. I didn't create this. Carrie from App Labs created this. I am not getting paid if you do download this app, but I do urge you guys to donate some XRP to Carrie because he did this of his own volition. It's a great app. It's basically the same spreadsheet in the phone application form. So the resources are down in the links of the description. And I hope this gives you guys a better idea of down cost averaging and perhaps planning for retirement, whether it's XRP or other cryptocurrencies. The one thing I do know is that this is not the end for cryptocurrencies. This is just the beginning, so I'm thinking prices are going to go much higher. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.